All right, welcome on to episode 2 of Arguing About Food. I hate intros, so we're just going to get right into discussing the most overrated foods. Overrated will be in capitals on the YouTube title.
Seems necessary.
Yeah, apparently. So somehow that helps. I don't know. I feel a little bit of trepidation about overcapitalization for no reason, but I guess YouTube, that's just the nature of the medium. So let's just talk about what it means to be an overrated food first. Liv, what were some of your criteria to determine whether something was overrated?
Well, I mean, first of all, it has to be highly rated. There are certainly some foods that I think are overrated, even though nobody really likes them. So it had to be highly rated.
The fact that it's
place.
even, the fact that it's even a food at all means that it's overrated.
Yes, exactly. So it had to be something that I think the general public all really enjoys, or the majority of people really, really like this thing.
I tried to be a little bit more objective about it than just, my personal preference is everyone liked this, but I personally think it's bad. I wanted to come up with some criteria where even in many cases, it's something that I like, but people just go so ridiculously crazy for it. I just can't really get behind that and at least have some semi-objective reasons to back things up. So anything else we need to talk about here? Yeah?
Well, the other thing that just kept coming up in my head when I was trying to come up with my list was whether I could make a better version of it at home than anywhere else I can get it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay. If every time I order it out, it is significantly worse than I could do at home, then it's an overrated food.
No, I guess that makes sense. The restaurant version is overrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a few things like that. That's a new way to think of it. I think even my own piddling cooking skills, I feel like there are a few restaurant versions of things that I can improve on generally. Okay. What's your number 5? We're going to count down. Number 5 most overrated food is
Tater Tots. People go nuts for them. They're like, oh my god, they have tots. Let's get the tots. And they're always just these sad, soggy little bites. And, honestly, French fries could almost be in this category as well because there's so many bad French fries. I know. But really, it's tots because the ratio of potato to crispy outside is a bigger gap to cross, or whatever you want to say. So
yeah.
So often they're undercooked and they're just little cold potato capsules, and they're greasy and they're not crunchy. They're disgusting.
Yeah, not a fan of the loaded tots, then, I'm guessing.
Well, that gets your hopes up even higher. I mean, seriously, you're like, loaded? This is going to be amazing. It's going to be like nachos. And then they're sad little potato capsules with cheese on them.
I will second you to the extent that they're just not, they can be really bad. If they're soggy, they can be truly awful. If they get cold, going back to what we were talking about last time, if they have some ingredient on there that makes it too cold, like you were talking about with the full onion pizza last time,
right.
If there's, or if the cheese gets cold a little bit, or I agree that bad tater tots can be really bad, but I really enjoy good tater tots. As much as I also sympathize with you going out to eat with people and being like, let's get the tots.
That's the other thing, is just the tots, man.
Maybe less of a problem for those of us who don't live in Chicago At least the people we're with aren't going to talk like that.
I mean, I think most of the country. If anybody actually knew how to cook them properly, they might be less overrated. But apparently, the entire like restaurant community just doesn't know how to cook them properly.
Well, if you can, so how do you feel about McDonald's hash browns?
They're amazing. I put one
So-
on the sandwich. I get two,
So
so I can
that-
put one
yeah.
into the sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. I've said before that there should be a double down-esque version of a McDonald's breakfast sandwich that just substitutes the bread for 2 hash browns.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get behind that because I just hate greasy fingers, but I do understand like why that would be enjoyable. But then I'd have to eat it burrito style, like moving the paper down and. Ugh.
Yeah, if you hate greasy fingers, you should try using a napkin sometime after you're done eating.
I do a lot of
So,
car eating
kinda
these days,
solves-
man.
So solves that problem.
Fair.
Maybe even a paper
but-
towel if it's my household.
I think that it's interesting that you even tried to compare McDonald's hash browns to Tots. They're clearly not the same thing. The surface area
let me
on the McDonald's hash brown is, far greater and therefore gives a much better potato to crisp ratio.
No, I agree with you on that. I think you can, if the tater tots are crispy enough and then the interior isn't too mushy, then I think you can get pretty close to McDonald's hash browns us. But I agree with you. That interior, it's just going to be a little too cold and soggy. If the exterior isn't just extremely crunchy, you could be in trouble. It did not make my list. I understand your thoughts. I still really, really enjoy a good tater tots, though, and I find them superior to many French fries, but not all. Okay. This is going to be good. We're going to disagree on stuff a lot here. All right.